Hello. All right. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, oh my God. All right. I'm just listening to some music. Okay. So I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers, also for those of us who find ourselves on this channel without any Piscean anything. You're probably an empath, and you're probably needing messages from your soul. Okay. So we'll do this. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and I was told that's a baptism through the fire. Fire. Ooh, look at the. I'm just saying. Be still. Ooh, I gotta just feel this song. Ooh, look at this next. You guys, this is huge. All right. All right, so we got two. All right, let's just like. I don't know. There's just something about the energy right now. How are you guys doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. The world is on timeout. Everybody need to chill. Let me turn this song off. Or let me pick a different song just so I could chill out. Let me just do that instead. Whew. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. All right. Okay. Michael's asking me why I have so much anxiety right now. I don't know. I don't know because you're showing all this fire. Now I'm worried. I'm worried. Okay. Whew. Yay, Sochi. Okay. All right. I've waited 100 years. I'll wait for you. All right. There. Let's get started. Oh, Darnia. All right. So the first card. They just really trying to see like how far things can go before I freak out. Death in reverse, stagnation, slow changes, partial change, inertia, narrowly avoiding a serious accident. There's a lot of things that are going on, within your journey, within your life that's causing you to feel very very unsettled, and feeling unsettled and being unsettled are kind of two different things. Feeling accomplished and actually accomplishing something are two different things, right? So the same goes for the negative experiences in life. Although you feel stagnant, you're not actually just sitting there like a bump on a log. Feeling stagnant and actually being stagnant are two different things. We have to allow ourselves to really become aware of where we actually are within our journey, within our life. Four of Cups, weariness, aversion, disgust, disappointment, bitter experience, stationary period in life. All right. So again, it's this message of kind of conducting yourself or believing that you're stuck in some way. Are you stuck, or do you just have an aversion to where you're being pushed to go by your soul? Again, those are two different things. If you don't allow yourself to begin recognizing and begin sitting still, you're going to miss the whole point of what you're experiencing. And yes, everything that you experience has a point to it. You don't just like experience things willy nilly just for no reason because maybe, I don't know, it'll be cool. No, everything from the pleasurable to the displeasurable, unpleasurable, whatever it is. It's helping you to experience something that's necessary to cultivate a mindset, a perception. There's a lot of things that are being burned away. If you won't remove your shackles, your soul will burn them off of you. That's intense, yo. Just say please. Just say please. We'll take the shackles off. Oh my goodness. That's an intense message. If you will not remove your mental shackles, your soul will create an inferno so intense that the shackles will be melted, that they'll no longer exist. So, this is a period where you're being gifted with the opportunity. It's an opportunity to grow by choice or to be forced into your growth. No one else is going to force you to do this. It's your higher self. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. No one can force you to do this, but your soul can definitely bring people into your life who will F stuff up to force your growth. Ooh, damn. Ouch. I'm just saying, you know, I'm over here like, how many times you gonna burn me? I'm already crispy. Crispy fried chicken sounds good right now. I'm just saying, if anyone wants to feed me some fried chicken, I don't have any problems with that. I would accept that. Page of Coins. Deep concentration, application, scholarship, reflection. Sorry. Someone has very tickly energy. Your energy is just delectable. Who the hell is that? It's a familiar energy. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Page of Coins. Deep concentration, application, scholarship, reflection, desire for new ideas, a do gooder, bearer of news. So, hmm. That totally threw me off. Oh my God. This energy is so familiar. Where have I felt this before? I don't remember for some reason. Oh my goodness. Anyways, um, it's almost like you are starved for an opportunity to be creative, to express yourself. Ooh, I'm getting a sense of like just really hyping yourself up, being your own hype person. It's you, boo. It's you. I think it's you. I don't know. I don't know. Someone has amazing energy. I don't know if they commented or not. Um, Someone has really amazing energy. I love it. Come often. Stay through the whole reading. Um, so getting in control of my ADHD. Who was I talking about? Oh, yes, 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 yes. Um, it's almost this thing of being your own hype person, right? Whoever this is, it's like they're hyping themselves up. They're hyping themselves up like, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just just reach out. Ooh, who are you reaching out to? It's a sense of like a reaching out, like you're reaching out to someone. Hmm, I don't know. I don't know. Riches, safety, family matters, ancestry, inheritance, and home. Ooh, 10 of coins. Yes. So, ooh. I'm wondering if this is someone who sees you as like really, really safe place energy. Um, Not safe as in like, you're the safety net and they don't have to appreciate you, but safe as in like, I know you got me. I know no matter what, like when I'm ready, you got me like that. And I'm just going through something right now. And I've been going through something. This is like this. I don't know if it's someone's thoughts or if it's just part of the message of what the cards are saying, but it's kind of like this sense of I'm going through something right now. I've been going through something, and you know how I am when I go through things. And it's almost like a reflection, um, like the whole you know how I am when I go through things. It's like we go through things in the same type of way, kind of like a shutdown. Like when I go through something really intense, I shut down and I'm still functional, but it's hard for me to allow myself to become vulnerable with other people. So it's kind of like that sense. So I'm wondering if they're trying to find the courage to communicate something important to you, with you. Um, Maybe soon. Oh, Confucius. Confucius. Confucius say. Okay, let me quit. Confucius. See what I'm saying? The atonement. They're trying to it's almost like they're trying to make up for something. So, atonement, judgment, self perspective, rejuvenation, rebirth, improvement, development, promotion. They're going through a cycle of rebirth. So, here's the thing, I'm about to break some truth down for you really quick. Let me just breathe this out. Okay. So people often make it seem like when you go through an ascension cycle, it's like butterflies and dewdrops, you know what I mean? And like you come in on a unicorn and everything is beautiful. Everything is awesome. And it's not. That's the furthest thing from the truth. When you go through an ascension cycle, it's extremely viscerally felt, psychological. It's something that is a total like internal implosion before an explosion. This um spiritual death, you know? And what ends up happening is you feel so raw that you can't help but become so real. Like you don't have it in you at this point. You're at that point in your ascension cycle where you just really don't have it in you to play no games, to mince no words, and everything has just been burned off. And so now you're going through this process of rehabilitating yourself and your body, your mind, going through that process of merging the mind, the self, with the energy of the spiritual, the soul, finding that beautiful point of alignment. And I think either you're going through that, you're like there, or this other person is. Uh, Choices. Oh, God. Card number 8, choices. You can choose to experience this merger point if you want. Ooh, is that how they see you? Those are some odd looking nipples. I'm sorry. Your boobs are gorgeous, but your nipples are drawn in kind of weird. Are those like golden nipple covers? Is that what it is? I don't know. So card number 8, choices. There's some choices needing to be made. And I'm wondering again, I got distracted. I'm wondering if how they see you is someone like this goddess in flesh, and they see you like naked in your truth. And it's almost like they understand now that when they're ready, like you'd welcome them with open arms or something. I hope they're not romanticizing things. Pisceans are vicious as fuck when they're burned. I'm just saying, I don't want to set you up for hurt. Pisceans are vicious as fuck when they're burned. Careful with that shit. They make you think like, see this? See this? She's distracting you with her nipple. She's getting ready to chokehold you. You think she's over here like she's gonna hug you? She's stretching her arms out so that she can get some, fluid in that shoulder joint so she can choke you good. Rear naked choke. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Be careful. If you fucked around and you hurt the feelings of a Piscean, baby boo, let me be the only Pisces on your side. They let you think that they didn't, it was no bother. No. It was nothing. Don't worry about it. I promise you. It's a big deal. I promise you. I promise you. They've been thinking about it and obsessing about it this entire time. And if you think you're going to just approach and it's like, I'm telling you, just be cautious. Don't think that everything's been forgiven because it probably hasn't. They have to see coming directly from you the type of changes that you are claiming to have gone through. They need to witness from you that you've learned what their value is, what their worth is, and that you could appreciate them properly. So I'm just saying, don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt your own feelings. Because Pisces I'm just, Pisces will let you think things. They won't even correct you on it. Okay. They'll let you think that it's all good, even if it's not. Queen of Staves, a sympathetic and understanding person, friendly, loving, chaste, practical, charm, and grace. Gracious hostess. See what I'm saying? It's kind of like their magical self is enchanting. But here's the thing, if they really matter to you, you need to make sure you do whatever it is that you need to do to prove that they matter to you. Or else I don't know what's going to happen to you. I don't know what's going to happen to you. Oh shoot. I know what's going to happen to you. King of Swords in reverse. A person who may pursue a matter to ruin, conflict, selfishness, sadism. See, this is the epitome of what's going to happen. They're going to let you think it's all good and then they're going to fuck with you. Mhm. If you don't show them what they need to see, and they're watching. They're watching. Whoever it is you're trying to return back to with conversation and whatnot, they're watching your behaviors. They're watching to see if your behavior, your activity lines up with the words that you're saying and the energy you're presenting. And if any of that is off, just leave them alone, because this time around, I think they'll be vindictive. There's nothing worse. I'm telling you, I promise you. There is nothing worse than a vindictive Piscean. They don't tend to be vindictive, but good God, when they are, you will rue the day. So that King of Swords in reverse energy. For whoever is a cross watcher, you're going to pursue this and pursue this and pursue this, which is perfectly fine, unless you have an ulterior motive, because you're going to totally burn this bridge, and Pisces will definitely watch it burn. They'll watch it burn. Um, Conflict, selfishness. See, and you can't be selfish with them anymore. If you've been selfish with a Piscean or an empath the first time around, if you do it again, oh my God, just don't. Just don't do it. They become a dangerous or wicked person. One who causes unnecessary disturbance and sadness, you know? And I don't know that it's unnecessary, because if they've let you get away, um, if they let you get away with the BS before, I'm pretty sure they're not going to let you get away with it when they're sick of it. I mean, they might have let you get away with it several times already. I'm totally guilty of that. Like, people can be so excessive in their demands and whatever, and I let you get away with it. I let you get away with it. But when I've had enough, you're out for real. You're out. I don't give a shit. You're out. You're out. I don't need any explanations or anything like that. You're out. Once I finally decide that you're out, um, I'm trying to think of someone outside of my mother who was out and then came back from the land of the socially dead. uh oh gosh, coming up with a blank. I don't think I ever have. I don't think I ever have. But it takes a tremendous amount to put you in that land of the dead, you know? It takes a tremendous amount of wrongdoing on your part for me to get to the point where I'm just like, "You know what? I really don't care at this point. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care. I don't care. I don't want anything to do with you." It takes a lot. And by the time I'm there as a Piscean, you fucking went out of your way to earn it. You have gone out of your way to earn it. So for Pisceans, for empaths, this is a process of you understanding your worth, your self-worth. You have to make sure that you allow yourself to be guided to a place of completion, because it's the number 27. 2 is a number of guidance, 7 is a number of completion. 2 plus 7 is 9, 9 being the number of your divinity, your God essence, right? This is about you finding out how important you are. For some, you'll find this out because someone is coming into your life to cherish the absolute Twinkie stuffing out of you. You know, yeah, they're going to just cherish the absolute Twinkie stuffing out of you. And it's going to be amazing. And for others, you're going to learn this worth because someone who's totally not worth your time and your effort is going to try and weasel their way into your life, weasel their way back in for some. For others, this might be a completely new person. Don't be scared to tell them to kick rocks and shove their own foot up their own ass somewhere down the block. I'm just saying. A little bit of Vlad came out. Impale yourself on your own foot, motherfucker. Oh my God. I'm sorry. The energies of today is a little bit aggressive. It's affecting me. Um, no, seriously. Don't be afraid to tell people that they can leave. Don't be afraid to do that. When they're disturbing your peace and they don't have good intentions and you can feel it, believe that. Believe it the first time. Every time I've been fucked over in life, it's because I've told myself I was being a total bitch. Thinking, feeling. I wasn't even thinking. It was feeling and interpreting it for what it was. A message letting me know this person has such malicious, malignant intentions towards you. Steer clear of them. And instead of listening to my internal guidance, I went ahead and told myself that I was being such a bitch. What's wrong with me? Girl, nothing's wrong with you. You're psychic as fuck. That's what's wrong with you. You understand people's intentions. That's what's wrong with you. What's really wrong with you is the fact that you choose to listen to the bullshit excuses you make for other people rather than your own intuition that's trying to protect you from these bad choices, allowing bad people into your life. I mean, these are harsh words to say, but the reality is we need to start hearing this. We really do. We really, 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 really do. I have this part of me that wishes I had someone in my life back then who had the courage to sit me down and be like, bitch, listen, bitch, listen, the fuck you doing? I wish I had someone like that. I wish I had someone like that back then. I did have someone who, was like, Emmy, girl, you're just too nice. Steer clear. And they were trying to tell me. And because they didn't say it in the language that I could accept, which would probably be a harsh language, right? I was like, no, they're not like that. Give them a chance, they'll show you. But I'm pretty sure had that person, that specific person, been like, listen, bitch, sit the fuck down. you know, bitch, sit the fuck down. We need to talk for real. I would have been like, oh my God, I'm not talking to anyone then. And that would have saved me from a lot of bullshit. A lot of bullshit. Um, it's time to take some time out for yourself. It's time that you allow yourself to take a time out. The world will be okay. I mean, it doesn't look like it right now. I promise you, the world will be okay. People are going to do whatever they're going to do anyways, you know. Um, take time for you to reassess where you are within your life, within your journey. You're about to be tossed in the whole damn flame, okay? Out of the fire and out of the pan and into the fire, right? That's a saying. I don't know that you want to be seared alive like that. This is going to be a really intense period. And if you don't allow yourself to go through the motions of realizing you're just as important as this person who, excuse me, might or might not value you. If they value you, I mean, take it as a confirmation that you're important. If they don't value you, take it as confirmation that you need to begin seeing yourself as important. Mm, that's a good way to look at it. I'm just saying. We're just trying to create some positivity in this shitty world right now. The world has gone to shit. La 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 la. Let's pull this deck out. Let's see what the black moon has to say. Let's shift gears. Let's make this let's try and make this into like a work thing, right? Let's check what the finances are doing. Oh shit. Baptism through the flame when talking about finances. Ooh, crash and burn? No. No. We're not crashing nothing. Ooh, I have a story for you. Ooh, it has to do with this card. Okay. Pull from the bottom of the deck. Okay. Ooh. Okay, this is intense. This is really intense. So, my story for you. We once were traveling and I was driving behind the RV. Um old school Suburban. And there was a fuel leak. And we waited for several months while driving this vehicle from state to state to state to get it fixed, right? And it was this thing of the fuel leak was so intense that it was soaking into the firewall thingy that kind of protects the inside of the vehicle. You could smell fuel in the car. And I don't know why I kept driving it like that, but I did. I sure damn did. And I remember at one point we were driving The area between Arizona and SoCal, it started before we crossed the state line from Arizona. We entered into SoCal, and then we were around 29 Palms when the feeling became really intense that the car was going to catch on fire because of the fuel leak. And I distinctly remember saying, "No, bitch. You're going to get me wherever the fuck I'm going. And you're not going to set this shit on fire. You're going to work perfectly fine, and I'm going to get to wherever the fuck I'm going with no problems." And then I put my earbuds in and I kept singing to myself in the car with the windows rolled down, windows rolled down through the desert. And it must have been like 110 degrees or something like that. And that shit should have caught on fire months ago. How do I know this? Because the most gifted, the most gifted mechanic worked on it. And when he was done working on it, when it was time to leave California again, and he gave back the vehicle, he's like, I left a fire extinguisher under the front bench, just in case, because he was so worried. And then as I was going to pull away, he flagged me down again, and he was like, "Actually, let me get it back. We don't want to upset Michael." You clearly have a lot of protection. We don't want to upset Michael. And that car never caught fire. I did feel it begin to ignite in the desert. And I was like, no, I'm not giving none of my energy to that. I'm not even afraid, motherfucker. You're going to get me wherever the hell I need to go. Wherever the hell I need to go. And it did. See, I don't know if it's just for me. I like to think that this would apply to everybody. I feel like if you really seriously own yourself, your journey, your decisions, and stop allowing yourself to kind of passively agree to kind of this bullshit type stuff, you're not going to experience it. Same suburban. We were driving through the northern portion of New Mexico. It's like this foresty area, just south of Colorado, right? Raton. Shit was pitch black for hours on end. It's just pitch black. There's nothing there. And the fuel gauge doesn't work in that suburban. And I was like, wait, I feel like it's going to run out of gas. And I was like, no, no, bitch. You are not stranding my ass in the middle of pitch black darkness on a 2-lane road with no cellular reception. I don't fucking think so. That's not how this shit's gonna play out. And I walkie-talkied my husband. I walkie-talkied him, and I was like, honey, could you check the gauge in your car? I think I'm about to run out of gas. And he was worried. And then the only gas station, literally the only gas station for hours, was coming up. The ramp was coming up. And we exited. And as I exited and turned off the ramp towards the gas station, that's when it just, and it died across the street from the gas station. And I was like, that's right, bitch. Thank you for listening. It did die. It did run out of gas, but it didn't strand me anywhere because literally across the street was a gas station. Literally. Like, I mean, you can hold things off until you get to a safe space. Instead of recognizing that something is going wrong and then freaking out and adding more fuel to that fire. Like, this has happened many times. Another time, I was driving maybe like 80 in our minivan. Again, pitch black darkness. I think we were eastern side of Arizona. And then I drove all the way through New Mexico in pitch black darkness. It's like 2 or 3 in the morning. And then we entered into Colorado around 5 or 6 in the morning. And, in that pitch black darkness, I felt like something was wrong. There's no reception in that area. And I told our vehicle again, "Motherfucker, you're not stranding me in the middle of the desert with no reception and pitch black darkness. There's scorpions and shit out here. I'm fucking good off that. No, you're gonna get to wherever I feel like stopping." And so what happened? Finally, I was like, "Okay, it's a pee break time." It's like 6 or 7 in the morning. And I exited at one of the places we like to exit. And right as we enter into the driveway of the gas station, God, it sounded like the transmission fell out or the differential, something like that. That's what it felt like. And then I just turned and coasted and we parked. And when we had the vehicle towed to the only shop that was like 100 or 200 miles, something like that away. The shop told us, like, "Oh my God, you're so lucky this didn't happen while you were driving." And I was like, "What would have happened if I was still driving?" And he was like, "Well, if you're going anything over, I think like 40 miles an hour or something like that." Mind you, I was going like 80, 90, maybe like 110. I was going fast. He was like, you would have flipped the car." Yeah, that's good. That's good to know. That's good to know. And he's like, "Were you going that fast?" And I was like, "Maybe." But that was hours before. And he goes, "When did you feel that?" "Hours before." And he was just like, "No, I'm not going to agree to flipping the car while my kids are sleeping. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to agree to even being stuck with no gas in the middle of nowhere. I'm not going to agree to any kind of shit that's going to inconvenience me unnecessarily. I don't fucking think so." Hey, I am very reasonable. Sort of. Kind of. I'm very reasonable, but I'm not going to. No. If I sense something wrong with a vehicle, with life, with people, I'm going to be like, "Listen, we're going to ride this shit all the way through until I'm done. And when I'm done, you can break the fuck down then, but not right now. Not in the middle of the process that I'm in to reach a higher level of awareness of myself in my life." And if you can embody that for every single type of thing you face in your life, I mean, life is just magical for me. And it's not because nothing bad ever happens. Fucked up shit happens daily. Like daily. None of my problem. No, I mean, these are things that happen to me, but I'm just like, "Oh, well, spilled milk, clean it up." You know what I mean? So instead of embodying what you are programmed to embody, which is like, "Oh my God, oh no, fuck that shit." No, I'm not gonna, "Oh my God, oh no." I'm gonna be like, "Well, damn. All right, what do we need to do? Let's do it." This baptism through flame is gonna test you way beyond what you thought you could survive. So you gotta make a choice. Are you here to survive? Because your life's gonna keep upping the ante, I'm telling you. Or are you gonna Macarena the shit out of that? I'm just saying, I will Macarena through that. I don't care. Life's gonna happen no matter what. Sometimes I'll cry, sometimes I'll laugh, sometimes I'll just be the bad bitch that I am and be like, "Okay, what else you got?" And I'm gonna actually mean it. It's not just this trying to convince myself. And I think that's the problem that many of us run into, is that we fall for the trap of people telling us that saying something is enough. It's not enough. Claim it. Just claim it. Just, speak it into being. No, that's not enough. That's not enough. That is not enough. It has to be claimed. It has to have action behind the words, or nothing happens after that. You just end up, going through the same old BS that you've been going through. So that's a life hack right there. You know what I mean? That's how you get yourself through all sorts of different situations. To date, I'm not even going to knock on wood because I don't need luck. I don't. I believe that so strongly. I could potentially have car breakdowns, but I'll never be stranded because fuck that shit. You will get me to a gas station or somewhere with cellular reception. No, I refuse. I refuse. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. I'm okay with some inconvenience, but that's unnecessary. Motherfucker, you can break the car down, but don't leave me stranded in the middle of nowhere. Mm-mm. Girlfriend has standards, okay? Start living up to your own expectations. What are your expectations of other people? To hold you, to inspire you, to uplift you, to do this, to do that. Start living up to your own expectations. And when you do that, you begin to change your life. Whatever expectations you have of other people, achieve them, accomplish them, whatever on your own. I'm going to read you guys something. I got to find it first, though. Oh, you know what? Lucky me, I screenshot everything. Literally. Um, let me look through all my screenshots. No. Ah, here. No, that's not it. Where is it? I took a freaking picture of my dog. She put herself in timeout. She put herself in timeout. Oh my god. You know what? Where the hell is it? I'm wondering. I'm wondering where the hell is it? I'll find it. Now I'm on a mission. I'm serious. Now I'm on a mission. It will be found because I declare it so. All right. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. I will find it. I don't know if I fully believe that. We will find it. I don't know how many days ago that was, though. Does not matter. We will find it. It was an important thing. I could have sworn I screenshot it. I'm pretty sure I did, but it's not showing up on my phone. Oh my goodness. It's here somewhere. It's talking about finding someone who can pour the way you pour into their cup, finding someone to pour into your cup the way you pour into theirs. And it's almost like, what if you poured into your own cup? You know what I mean? What if instead of waiting for someone to pour a drink into your cup and you're thirsty and now you're dehydrated and all of these other different things, what if you just pour into your own cup? Why wait for someone else to do that for you? Why wait for someone else to replenish you as you continue um, as you continue to deplete yourself, right? Like that doesn't make sense. Yet we do this all the time, where we allow ourselves to be so effing depleted day in, day out, over giving, over giving, over giving. And then we get so mad because when is someone going to give to me? When is someone going to take care of me? You're not capable of taking care of yourself because you are. You're absolutely capable of taking care of yourself. You spend your time, your energy, your resources taking care of people who are also capable of taking care of themselves. But you've convinced yourself that they can't because why? Well, because we want to feel needed. We prefer feeling needed by toxic people, people who have no problem using us, rather than using that time and energy to get ourselves feeling very, very empowered. My life became peaceful when I chose to pour into my cup instead of looking for people to pour into. My life became peaceful. Don't get me wrong, I still share my drink. I still pour into others. But first, I make sure my cup is full. First, I make sure that I actually put into action, into application, the things that I've learned from my previous life experiences or my earlier life experiences. This experience that I consistently went through, where I would allow myself to get depleted, bending over backwards to cater to people who really weren't bothered. They weren't bothered. They couldn't be bothered in any way, shape, or form with their life, their own things. And if they can't even be bothered with their own life, heaven forbid you inconvenience them with yours. This baptism through the flame is going to be burning away a lot of the unnecessary connections that you thought were connections, but in reality were simply cords, ports that are being used to siphon from you. I'm good. I'm so good off that at this point. I am so effing done with being that person. I'm not done with people. I'm done with being the person that I was when I would do this. I had this conversation with my husband earlier where I was kind of just like, I feel more at peace when certain people are keeping their distance from me, not because they're drama, not because they're a bad person, not because I don't like them, but because their presence at this part in my journey, um, I'm not fully anchored yet in the person I've just become. And so, with that, their presence carries with it the potentiality of me reverting back to the me that I was when they were still around. And the me that I was back then was toxic to the self as well as the soul, where I would intentionally sacrifice myself just to prove to you that I would sacrifice myself for you. No, no more. I see where that came from. And it's not enough to see where your pain and your triggers come from. You need to also begin addressing that. And it's not to say the trigger is evil, the person is evil. No, 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 no. It's about proper handling of the weaponized parts of you. What do I mean by this? A trigger, just like with a firearm, you don't play with that. Okay. Even if you're showing one to another person, you never put your finger on the trigger until you're locked and loaded, right? You're ready. You're at the range, you're facing the proper way, range hot, everyone's ready. That's the only time you're allowed to put your finger in that little space. But even then, with your finger off the trigger, you have to put it in safety. That means the trigger is locked. Have you ever considered that maybe the triggers that exist within you, these emotional and mental triggers, they have a safety? It's not that you have to get rid of the trigger, it's that you have to put it on safety. You have to allow yourself to recognize that's a weaponized part of you. It exists for a reason. The parts of me that can be triggered in that way are very destructive. Verbally, whatever way I need to be is very destructive. That's a part of my history. I'm not ashamed of it. Are you kidding me? I'm not here to try and convince you that I'm perfect. No, fuck that. I'm ratchet as fuck sometimes. Takes a lot to get me there, but once I'm there, it's impressive in a really bad way. Yeah, that's a part of me. It's a valid part of me. It exists to defend me. But see, I'm not in a war anymore. I'm not in some perpetual war where I consistently have some battle in front of me that I need to fight. So if that's the case, do I get rid of all the what? No. Put them in their proper cases, put on the safety, remove the bullets, remove it all. Don't dismantle the weapon, of course. Just leave it there. Better to be a peaceful warrior than to be a helpless farmer. See, a warrior can learn how to be a farmer. But in times of war, which would you rather be? Every single part of you is a valid part. There's no part of you that needs to be thrown away. It's the mindset that this baptism through the flame is going to burn up. All of these really, really distorted perceptions of you, they need to go. They need to go. You're not a problem. You have some problems, you have some struggles, but you are not those problems or those struggles. Those are things you are experiencing. And problems, really, life problems, they're nothing more than opportunities for elevated learning potentiality. That's how I see it. Struggles, that's me fighting my own process. I won't struggle if I don't fight myself. So then what's the problem with life? Nothing. Sometimes I want to cooperate, sometimes I don't. Oh, so it's you? No, it's my life, but I'm not a problem. I'm in the process of learning how to love myself wherever it is I am within my auric field, within my thoughts, within my journey. Every single part of me is valid, including the parts that are toxic. Sometimes those toxic parts are the very things that can jumpstart my learning, my growth. There are some plants that are toxic, but when given in the appropriate circumstance and taken at the right dosages, they become life saving. One that comes to mind, foxglove digitalis. That plant is toxic as fuck. It can kill you, literally, physically. It can kill you. You don't want to play with that. But here's the thing. It's like, well, if it's super toxic, like, oh my God, we need to eradicate it. No, no, no. Leave that plant alone. It has a purpose. Proper circumstance with proper dosage. That's life saving. How so, Emmy? You said it's toxic. Well, yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, it can absolutely cause cardiac arrest. However, if you do know what you're doing and you're being supervised by the proper professionals, foxglove digitalis is digoxin. Do you know how many thousands of people are kept alive? Digoxin. It's a very powerful, very potent cardiac medication. The parts of you that are toxic, leave them be. Let them be for now. There will come a time in your life, maybe soon, maybe not, where those toxic things within you will be the very thing that serves as the anti venom for you. Every part of you is valid. Every single part of you is valid. All the parts of me that I thought were ugly and just needed to be hidden away are the parts of me now that many of you often applaud me for. Ain't that weird? Is that not weird or what? The parts that I kept hiding and hiding and hiding, I was so fucking ashamed of it. It was just like so much anxiety, like, oh my gosh, if people knew, if someone saw me, if they knew what I thought. And I speak my mind these days. I don't hold back. I don't necessarily charge forward, but I don't hold back. And I speak my truth as I know it to be. It's empowering for most people to see that. It's empowering for most people to witness me giving myself permission to be my most authentic expression of who I am. Because then it makes you feel like you can set yourself free too. Because you can. So where's the toxicity there? Is it toxic? Or is it simply social conditioning? See, where some cultures see you as overweight, you're fluffy. Other cultures will be like, "Ooh, girl, look at that. Ooh, you got curves." See what I'm saying? It's like social conditioning. I distinctly remember growing up and being told that I was too dark. Are you serious? Yeah, no, seriously. I was consistently told that I was too dark. It gave me a full on complex for a large portion of my life. Only to one day with my legs in stirrups was the weirdest freaking experience. I was having my first prenatal visit for one of my pregnancies, and my OB's head pops up and she says, "I love your coloring." And she's like rubbing her, like my legs. I was like, this is weird. Yeah. And then she goes on to tell me how it takes her all summer to get nice and tan like that. And for me, that was pasty. My legs were pasty because I never wear shorts. I always wear pants. I'm always covered up, you know? It's one of those things. It's one of those things where you have to just own yourself. You have to own who you are. Can someone please ban that person? We're not stopping the whole motherfucking reading for you to ask me a idiotic ass question. And that's on me being Aquarius cusp, motherfucker. Don't let don't let yourself get confused because I got Capricorn around the corner too. Don't let those two tag team your ass. Fuck off my life. Anyways, anyways. Anywho. Card number 37, fire element, desire. Passion, though a bad regulator, is a powerful spring. There are changes coming, new movement. Look for them to be quick. Almost as quick as you being booted. Oh shit, here comes the Capricorn. No, I'm joking. Go back to bed, biznatch. I gotta entertain myself too, The element of fire in astrology is all about beginnings, our passions, and how fast we get our energy moving. It speaks to how rapidly we react and how long it takes us to accomplish what we set out to do. Fire is burning determination. Fire scorches away impurities, clearing a landscape for new growth and leaving an area healthier and stronger. So, when this card is involved, expect changes to be dramatic in an unforgettable way. See what I'm saying? Um, it's a lot of shifts, and these shifts are not going to be subtle in this period. I don't know why I feel that. Um, they're not going to be subtle. They're going to be like, boom, there you go. Boom, there you go. Spank you in the left cheek, spank you in the right. Get a paddle and spank them both at the same time. Synchronistic spanking. Okay, let me stop. I'm just saying these changes are not gonna be this like, oh, would you like it a little like a little tap? No, it's gonna be a big old thwack. I got this visual. Just let me just stop. I have a paddle right there, right there. I have this like my cart that has all my cards, right? And then I have a paddle right there. And then it's like it has these letters on it that are engraved but also filled with blue paint. It says attitude adjuster. Let me know if any of y'all motherfuckers need attitude adjustment. I will thwack you in the ass. You could ask me, but I have to charge. No, I'm joking. I'm really, really joking. I will stop now. I will stop messing around. I am not a dominatrix. I don't do that. I will stop. I will behave myself before next thing you know, you hear big man footsteps coming to the room and the door opening. What the fuck are you talking about? Spanking people. I'm talking about spanking people. You heard me say what I said. That's what I was talking about. I'm not really offering though. Anyways, the fire element card also denotes honesty and suggests you act assertively. That was me, speaking honestly and taking that suggestion to act assertively. I'm going to bring a wooden spoon in here. Oh my god, I was thinking to myself, like, I could totally put a wooden spoon in here, right? Because I don't know why I need like a highlighter and pens when I'm doing card readings, but I write in the books. And then Michael points my attention to, you could always use this. Oh shit! Oh fuck! You get fucked up with this. That's bad. You will be concussed, like my son said. My youngest has discovered a new word, concussed. Tickles me to no end when he says that. That's dangerous. I could get concussed. Okay, son. So this card says to push it. You're about to get up front with someone or vice versa. Ooh, shit. Confrontation. I don't like confrontation in real life. I don't even like to watch people confront each other. I'm just like, oh, fuck. What do I do? Do I fucking jump in? Do I leave? Do I look? I mean, I don't know what to do. And next thing you know, I'm over here like cloaking myself. Like, maybe if they don't notice me, I don't have to do anything. I don't like confrontation, but it looks like you're going to have confrontation. I don't know with who. That's why I stay home all the time. I'm just saying, this is why I stay home. In any event, you will soon understand where you stand as all of your cards will be put on the table. Someone's about to out you. See, that's another reason why I don't live in a way where I will do things that I don't want people to know. Like, no, motherfucker, I'm not going to do anything behind the scenes that I would have no problem with you watching me do right here, right now. I'm just saying. If you are worried, like this is like the major, major way to gauge things you're about to agree to. If people found out I did this, would I be embarrassed? Would I be like, oh my God, I hope no one finds out? Because if I feel that in any way, shape, or form, I'm not fucking doing it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm not doing it. No. No one's going to know. I don't give a shit. Eventually someone will. So I'm not going to do it. No. No, I'm not going to agree. And because I've lived my life in that way, there's no skeletons in a closet. There's only the skeleton that I use in order to give myself form and to walk. and do other things. No, there's nothing I need to hide. Like, no, fuck that shit. I'm not going to be a prisoner of my own life. No. So watch out for bossy people when this card comes up. Am I bossy? Am I the bossy one? Only to myself. Maybe to my husband too. But he likes that. I'm just saying. It can indicate a type of bulldozing that will be hard to deal with. Others may claim they are speaking to you from a place of truth and concern, whereas they may not understand the situation very well and not offer the best advice. Ooh. So kind of like gaslighting. I'm going to write that down. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, I got to highlight some shit too. Mm-hmm. This is what I do to every book I own. Don't worry. Don't worry. This card can imply the ego is going out of control. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The fire card says you have good instincts at the moment and will be able to carry it off as long as you're also grounded. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is a card of passion. Therefore, if romance is your question, this is a compelling attraction, at least on the part of one of you, not necessarily both of you. One of you, okay? Um, um, so don't make the mistake of attempting to make your love interest jealous if you feel you're not getting the attention you crave. See that person right there? Pretty sure that's my stalker. Pretty sure that's the same person that had the other profile that I wanna bet moon rock band. Just wanting attention, you're irrelevant and deficient in intelligence. That's all the attention you'll get for maybe another year or two. And if y'all could please report that profile. Thank you. So don't make the mistake of attempting to make your love interest jealous if you feel you're not getting the attention you crave. This will surely backfire. If the attention strays, though, don't be afraid to have a backup plan. If in romance, this card can indicate a sudden attraction. If it's not meant to be, it will burn out fast. So, if this is someone coming forward with like some sort of romantic intention with you, um, don't be scared. It's not going to waste your time too much. If it's not something that's compatible, it's just going to burn real fast. It's going to crash and burn real fast. But if this relationship has legs, you will be great supporters and protectors of each other. So we don't know which way it's going to go. It really just depends. It really just depends. Um, the fire element card is one of new starts, often after the past has been burned away. Be honest in your approach. Any arrogance will be your enemy. You will have the zeal to get things done in the way you want. As far as your life is concerned, the pot is being stirred. Whoever stirs a pot should lick the spoon too, you fucking shit stirrer. I'm just saying, they should be forced to lick the spoon. Card number 47, Grand Cross Provoker. Ooh. Ba, 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 ba. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. So card number 47. Ooh, 37 and 47. 3, 7, solid foundation from which to complete things. 10, 3 plus 7 is 10, which is a realization that you're going to have to start taking a journey soon. And then 47, which is 10 more. 4 is the number of the self, 7 is completion. So they're setting you up first on a solid foundation Once that's complete, you're going to be working on yourself to the point of completion. 4 plus 7 is 11, 11 being the number of divinity. You're completing yourself and reaching a next level of your divine process. This is huge. The Grand Cross is an area of tension in a chart, thus becoming a great catalyst for movement and change. So, sorry, I thought I heard something. Um, all of these cards are telling me that there is so much shit about to pop off for you. So, when a grand cross occurs, it indicates a crisis. Yet through this calamity will be a painful process of growth, then renewal, and eventually a greater foundation for happiness and success. This is what I was just talking about, right? Strangely, it is almost as if the planetary energies are in competition with each other. So these parts of you are competing with these other parts of you, probably to be able to take front and center. Um, let's be real here. You have very many aspects within yourself. Okay. There are so many different parts of you that exist. If you notice, you're a different type of person depending on the type of group or whichever group it is that you're standing in front of. It's not because you're fake, it's because you don't feel accepted unless you only allow this specific portion of you to come forward, that specific portion of you to come forward, that specific portion of you to come forward. And whatever group you're in front of, they have very specific standards and expectations of you. They have committed you to being a specific person in their story, a specific character, and you play along with that. This is about you being provoked to the point where other aspects of you are coming forward. This is not about dissociative personality disorder or anything like that. This is not psychological pathology. This is about the gravity of you realizing you are a totality, not a duality, but a totality, a whole being. It's not good enough to be in the light and be healthy in the light. It's not good enough to simply be in the darkness and be healthy in the darkness. What's necessary now is to light up the darkness with a bonfire of your truth, allowing yourself to enter, like really saunter into that ballroom, be all sexy and everything, and be a whole person. Be a whole person. Because look, you can you can enter into a ballroom for a fancy event with the most gorgeous dress, right? But without the proper shoes, I mean, the dress isn't really, is not really something that, I don't know, it doesn't look finished. So you need the proper shoes. If you don't have the proper shoes, the outfit's kind of affected. The effect of it is affected. If you have the proper shoes and you have the dress and everything looks good, but then you look like you just woke up and your hair is not done, your makeup is not done, it just doesn't quite look finished. It doesn't look complete. When you have all that, you have the makeup, the hair, the dress, the shoes, but your accessories are just like, why would you wear that with that? It affects the entirety of the whole picture. You can't allow any more of your parts to be functioning or existing in a disharmonic way with the rest of it. Work on the totality of you, the big picture. We keep being told to hyperfixate on the nuanced details. And yeah, you might have that necklace laying just right. But if the necklace is just not flowing with the type of dress that you have, I mean, it doesn't matter if the chain sits just right and all the pieces are, looking amazing. Like, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all because it looks ugly. It just detracts from the whole. So allow yourself to pull back a little bit and see very, very clearly exactly what it is that needs to be done. Not micromanaging small little aspects of your life and not seeing how it all fits together. What's that going to do you? One of the things that I realized when I went through a baptism in the flames, um, one of the things that was like so important for me to realize is what? That my need to micromanage, it has a lot to do with my fear of being disempowered, of being weak, of not being able to handle everything that my life sends my way. This person just so starved for attention. Like, go ahead, have your moment. Um, and what ended up happening was I began to realize that I was really taking away my ability to see myself, my life, the gravity of me and my power. I really wasn't letting me understand me and my needs. Why? How did that happen? I allowed the very inconsequential things in life to distract me. Do you see what's happening right now? It's inconsequential. I'm not distracted. I'm focused. I'm focused on what I'm doing right now. I'm focused on me, my growth, my life, what I need to do as a person, as a mother, as a wife, as a sister, as an auntie. What do I need to do? Stay focused on the things that will continue to grow me in the way I need to grow. Inconsequential things are just that, inconsequential. No one has the power they wish they had over you if you do not consent. No matter how hard you try, that triggers on safety. Triggers on safety. What now? What now? No, use the freaking whole word. Don't stop at dumb bish. BISH. No, really grow some balls. Put dumb bitch. BITCH. Still won't care. Because guess what? I'm centered in the reality of who I am, what I'm doing. I have focus, I have drive. And you're still irrelevant. You see how that works, guys? Do you see how that works? How powerful is it to witness, even in the face of being treated poorly? I didn't do anything to deserve any of that. There was no um, provocation for that, right? None. That's not my problem. We have someone trying to make their psychological issues my problem. Is that my problem? No, I'm not owning that. Please, please. The therapy I pay for is for my issues, not for me to adopt yours. You see how that goes? I pay for therapy for my issues, not the issues I adopted from someone else. We have to allow ourselves to really step into our power. It's that simple. It's that simple. Being focused on the task at hand. And what is your task right now? When you begin to answer that question truthfully, you'll begin to realize that for most, you've made other people your focus rather than your growth. Making yourself your focus during this period has nothing to do with not caring about other people. Excuse me. It has nothing to do with being selfish and, having zero concern about other people's well being or any of that. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has everything to do with prioritizing. And just because you are now making yourself a priority for you doesn't make you a selfish, mean person. It just helps you to better identify the people who have a problem with you finally receiving from yourself. Why? Well, because the attention you give yourself, the care and consideration you give yourself, they feel entitled to that. You're somehow taking from them by giving back to yourself. And I'd say that's a gift. I would say that is a gift. How is that a gift? Well, because now they've identified for you beyond a shadow of a doubt that they have no place in your life or your journey. Good riddance. Good riddance. Thank you for taking yourself out. There's nothing wrong with being a powerful person and having no shame in your ability to decide for yourself what you will focus on right here, right now. You're worried because people might see. No, no. I should be ashamed. No, no. But I should feel how you tell me to feel. I should feel disrespected because someone is being like that in the comments. No. How am I disrespected if I'm not taking that in? Totally unbothered. Not even an act, like literally unbothered. You see how powerful it is? So easy, yet so hard. And why is it hard? Because you've been conditioned to believe that unless you do as you're told, no matter how free you think you are, that the people you love, they'll reject you, that society will see no value in you. If they can't accept you as you are right now, they already don't see the value in you. See, if you know about plants, you know what the leaves look like for specific types of plants. You'll know which ones are edible, which ones are not. If we look at, let's do an example, a peony bush. I mean, it just looks like a bush. It just looks like a bush. What's so special about that? Well, see, you don't know how special it is until specific time of year the peonies begin to grow. A peony has this very distinct sweetness to it. It's not a florally type of sweetness. I don't know how to describe it, but it has a specific scent to it. And if you don't know what a peony is, you won't know what the bush is. And until you reach it at a point where, the bush is in full blooming mode, you're going to think it's just a Joe Schmo bush. Peonies are far more expensive than roses. And they're very hard to get outside of that small window during the year where they grow, or when they grow. It's extremely hard to get peonies. I've tried. Peonies are fucking gorgeous. Gorgeous. And if you look into the history of peonies, you'll see some ancient cultures, they accredit the peony with having metaphysical properties that are potent enough for exorcism. Whew. Imagine the sweetest, most beautiful essence paired with this huge, delicate blossom. Oh my gosh. Enough for an exorcism. Ain't that some shit? But again, if you don't know what a peony is, it's no biggie. It's just a bush. Hack away at it. No. Let people finally begin to witness you for who you are. They don't know who you are. You don't need to take their condemnations in as your truth. No. 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 And if I refuse, what happens? Not a damn thing. Anytime, and I've been doing this for quite a few years, anytime someone tries to get confrontational with me, it's rare, uh, and they're trying to force me to do something and I don't want to, you know what I do? What happens if I don't agree? You best believe they start to stutter. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to take it. You better. And if I don't? Just very matter of fact question. And if I don't, what happens? What are you going to do? If I don't agree, if I won't cooperate, then what? And when you ask that type of question, oh, wow. Not only will you have the opportunity to see all of the toxicity just erupting out of them, they'll be able to witness it as well. Other people will be able to witness it as well. Whoever's looking, whoever's in earshot, they'll be able to witness it. At which point, you're given the confirmation this is not your issue. They're experiencing psychological, emotional pathology, disease. That's not for you to heal unless you have a medical license for mental health. I don't. So that's not my job to heal that. And people will think like, you're going to be a bad person. You're going to be seen as a bad person if you don't go out of your way to heal someone struggling through something that you know nothing about. No, no, you're not a bad person. You're an honest one. I would rather you be upset with me for being honest about the limitations that I know myself to have than to try and pretend like I have the answers that you need only to create more problems for you. I mean, if you're someone who gives your power away, you're probably going to be pissed off either way. I would rather you be pissed off at me being who I am than you be pissed off feeling like I lied to you. It's not my job. It's not your job to be everyone's messiah. It's just not. That's part of what's being burned away. This like messiah complex, this God complex, savior complex, however you want to put it. We have to make it a point to really stop trying to create projects out of people. I call them people projects. Why? Well, that's when we look for a project to do so that we can avoid the work that we actually need to do. This morning, I wasn't feeling the energies. I was just like, oh, today feels kind of yuck. I feel avoidance setting in. I had to prepare for my class that I teach every Saturday. And instead of preparing, what did I do? I went and scrubbed the entire shower. First, I told myself, once I shower, I will feel refreshed and I can work quickly at organizing the thing I already have done. Because I had something already completed. I just needed to do the visual aid. Well, soon as I hopped in the shower, I started scrubbing everything down, including the shampoo bottles. Avoidance like a mofo. And you can tell yourself all of these excuses about, well, no, I really need to get this thing done. Like, I really needed to clean the shower because, like hard water stains are going to set in. It's going to etch the glass or whatever. No, that's bullshit. I just didn't want to work on the visual aid. I didn't want to work on the visual aid. I have to be honest with myself. You have to be honest with yourself. You can continue to lie to yourself, but that's still lying. This period of baptism through the flames is going to be a period where whatever excuses you try to give yourself is not going to work. The truth is still going to very much stare you in the eyes. It's going to stare you right down all the way to your core. And you will not be able to look away. You will not be able to blink. You will not be able to close your eyes. This is where you get to see the truth of who you are. Do you want a spoiler? You're a good person. You're a good person. I don't care what you've done in life. You're a good person. I don't care what mistakes you've made. I don't care what your shortcomings are and how you think that those shortcomings are a deal break. No, you are a good person. And no, I'm not just saying this. You are a good person. My stalker, I don't think that's a good person. I don't. I don't think the stalkers are good people. You, however, you're a good person. Stop believing all this bullshit that you've been told by people who tell you these things to make you easier to control, easier to manipulate, easier to coerce to do whatever the hell they want you to do. Fuck that shit. You're a good person. You didn't come into this life to live a perfect life, never making any decisions that are, things that lead to struggle or strife. No, you're a good person. You are a good person. And anyone who tries to convince you that you're not a good person, they're an asshole. What the fuck do they have access to you for? Kick them out of your life. Love yourself in a way where you can act like you do. And let the gravity of that sit in. Let it sit in that throne room. Let it sit in. What did I just say? I said, love yourself in such a way that you can act like you do. What does that mean? Well, if I love myself and someone's being disrespectful, what would I do to act like I love myself? Either remove myself or remove them. I don't need to be in that shit. I don't need to be in that. You don't need to be in that. Love yourself in a way that will allow you to act like you do. It's very simple, but also very hard. You'll go through an entire process. It's a net. I didn't get it. You'll go through an entire process to learn how to do this for yourself. You're worth it. You're worth investing that time, that energy, that focus in yourself. If you're willing to invest the time, energy, and focus in people who really, honestly, they should be irrelevant to you in your journey, then you should do that for yourself as well. You don't even have to stop doing it for the people who are not worth it. Let that sink in. You can still have people projects. Just make sure you're one of those projects. The most important one. You're not being asked to be anything outside of who you are. I am a person who is a giver, a nurturer, an empowerer, a protector. I will always be those things. First and foremost, I have to be that for me, right along with my children and husband. Whatever energy I have left, whatever time and focus I have left, I can give that away to whoever the heck I want to. Whether there's someone who can show the proper appreciation or not, it's irrelevant to me. Because I do all of those things for other people, not so that they can be not entitled, but obligated. Not so they can be obligated to feel grateful for my existence. No, I do those things because I feel like I'm supposed to. And then I go on my merry way. I can still be a giver. I can still be an unconditional lover. But that has to first go to me, and then my husband and children, and then to everyone else. There is a proper order to you and your life. Begin seeking out what that proper order is, because for some people, it's different than for others. It's okay to have differences. It's okay to have a different thing be the most important for you in your life than it is for someone else. Like some people might be like, oh my God, no, no, first has to come the job, because without the job, then the children and the husband can't eat. Okay, maybe for you, good. That's your priority. You know, that's your priority. That's not for me. I can see why you feel that way, but I don't feel that way for my life. So it's okay for us to have different priorities. It's okay for us to see things differently. This whole concept of, it's my job to wake you up because now I'm woke. I want to paddle myself saying that word. I, I just can't. I can't stand that. No, you are where you're meant to be. You are not supposed to be wherever it is that I am. You are exactly where you are meant to be at the time you are meant to be there. You have the appropriate, perfect level of understanding, awareness, evolution, expansion that you're supposed to have in this moment. No, you don't need to try harder. You need to stop trying. If that's too hard for you to do, then you need to try less. And see how that works? You don't have to put effort into being who you are. You're already the person you're supposed to be. The process that you're in is undoing your perception of who you are, undoing your perception of which parts of you are acceptable, which parts are merely tolerable, and which parts are downright no. You can never let someone see that. Would you say, if you've watched me for any length of time, would you say that if you've seen me be vulnerable, that it was like ugly? Oh, happy birthday, Thomas. Would you say that seeing me cry and having these moments where I'm just so raw and so vulnerable, that they're unacceptable? Because I know people who would say that, like, girl, get a hold of yourself. Why would you ever let someone see you cry in a live stream? Like, come on. You need to be professional. You need to do your makeup. You need to, you can't say certain things. How about fuck you? Not hard, just a little bit, just a tip. I'm just saying, like, no, I have to be who I am. At this point, that's the only option that is feasible for me. Why? Because I've lived my entire life trying to be who everyone wants me to be. I've lived my life believing that I have to shut down the parts of me that can feel so deeply and so potently, not just my pain, but the pain of other people. There's nothing wrong with being powerful in your softness. There's nothing wrong with living in a space of grace. Grace for self, grace for others. There is nothing wrong with any part of me. Some days I'm sad, some days I'm not. All the days I'm valid. All the spaces that I exist within is valid, is valuable. That's what I learned too, Carmen. That was one of the most powerful things that I learned for myself in my life. She says, no, it shows how powerful you are. Most people hide being afraid to look vulnerable. I used to exist in a frame of mind where I felt that if anyone saw me um, cry and be vulnerable, that opens me up to people attacking me. Well, guess what? They attack me regardless, and that's not based on me. That's based on them. That's who they are. No more. I realize now, in those moments of vulnerability, the fact that I allow myself to feel the things that I'm afraid to feel, even when I'm alone, and allow random people to witness this, not intentionally, but because the emotions are so profound and so potent. The potentiality is right there from the surface that I can't control it. I can't hold it in. And to know that's a place of me entering into my true power. I mean, wow. I'm not afraid of what people will do seeing me when I'm crying. Why? Well, because I know what I'm capable of. Before I realized the gravity of my authority over myself and my life, I used to be afraid about people seeing me crying. Why? Well, then they've seen they've seen where one of my triggers are. They can now push that trigger. They can manipulate me and they can exploit that. No, they can't. Why? Because I'd never fucking allow it. That's why. I wouldn't allow that. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't agree to that. Because I don't agree, it won't be allowed. And that's final. It's not up for debate. It's not up for consideration. It's not up for us to kind of haggle over. No, that's final. That's a final decision. I will never allow you to displace me from my own throne, in my throne room, within my palace that sits in my auric kingdom. No. And that's how I know I've come back home to me. At least a large portion of me has. There are still parts of me that are trying to find their way back to the totality of me. It's okay if it takes me an entire lifetime. I'm worth it. I'm worth that wait. I'm worth that process to me. You are worth it for you. In this period, again, there are things that are going to provoke you. There are things that are going to test how willing you are to experience the process that brings you back home to you. How willing are you? How willing are you? Are you willing to experience everything that needs to be experienced to form you into who you already are? Because if you're over here like, well, I mean, what would I experience? That tells me you haven't yet accepted how powerful you are. That tells me you haven't stepped into that rightful role as a conscious creator of your experiences. That tells me you are refusing to step into your rightful role as the architect of light within your life. So step into it. It's not that easy, Emmy. I never said it was easy. I said step into it. But what if I don't know what to do? Well, you'll never know what you know until you step into it. What if I fail? What if you succeed? One of the things I learned not very long ago, it's only been a few years, I'm not afraid of failure. I thought I was. I'm actually not afraid of failure. I'm afraid of succeeding. Why? I went through so many reasons as to why I'm afraid of succeeding, like all these different potential answers. It always came back to the same conclusion. No matter how I tried to word it, no matter what direction I went into, how far I climbed, and all of these other different things, It always came back to the same thing. And what was that? I was afraid of succeeding because in that success, I knew there would be people who would witness me. And if you witness me, you cannot deny who and what I am. And what is that? What's wrong with that? Well, because I'm not like other people. I don't think like other people. I don't process life. I don't perceive things in the way that other people do. My entire life, I've worked so hard at assimilation. I wanted so badly to assimilate into the neurotypical group because ever since infancy, I've known that there's nothing typical about me. And I didn't receive that as me being superior. Thank God for the environment I grew up in, because instead I saw it as the opposite. People might be like, whoa, what do you mean, thank God? If you saw it as the opposite, then that means you saw it as something bad. Could you imagine if I was actually really cocky, really, actually, truly, genuinely full of myself with a superiority complex? Oh my God, that would be so disgusting. That would be so beyond disgusting. No, my ego doesn't need to be killed. It doesn't need to be caged up. It doesn't need to be any of that. It's allowed out when it needs to be. My ego doesn't function like other people's. When I have a flare up of my ego, it makes me feel very small, very insignificant. And some people think, I mean, you're too humble. It's not about humbleness, it's about self regulation. Whenever I am at risk of becoming imbalanced in my perception of my greatness and my proper place within society, my ego will flare and I will feel small. And in that moment of feeling small, whether it's an hour or a day or a week or a month or a year or several years, that is the period where I recalibrate and remind myself I am here to serve. I am no better, no worse than anyone else. I just am created for a different function, and I will live up to that function and function properly. And that's it. So, no, I don't need to hate my ego. I don't need to reject it. I don't need to do any of that. I need to love myself in whatever process I'm in. And should the fires be stoked and an inferno is raging, preparing for my baptism through that flame, I will not be afraid, because it is the process of turning me into the phoenix that I am. Another thing I learned: just because I embody phoenix energy doesn't mean I have to rise from my own ashes. Whatever comes with malignant intent, I will burn you down. And it's from the ashes of that destruction, that's from what I will rise. I will no longer volunteer myself to be destroyed just to simply go through this process. No. When my soul uses my life circumstances to bring people who are willing to burn in order for me to rise, I will accept your offer. May you enjoy the burn. No, I'm not a bad person. No, I'm not wicked. I'm accepting the life that I came here to live. And no, I don't intentionally hurt or harm other people. But motherfucker, if you're going to volunteer because you think you can have malignant ass ideas directed to me, at me, no. You're not going to destroy me. The firewood doesn't destroy the flame. It's actually the opposite. It's the opposite. And you guys need to begin understanding you are not the firewood of your life. You are not. You are not. See, you will come across people who think they're an axe and that it's their job to cut people down. If a fire burns hot enough, the axe can serve as fuel. Wooden handle, that'll burn. You think you're going to survive that because you're what, steel? They use fire to melt steel. It just has to get hot enough. And if you think you're weak and you can't take it and this and that, and oh my gosh, so many people are talking behind your back, that's wind, that's air. When people talk with empty words, that's nothing but air. What does air do for fire? Makes it burn a lot hotter. Let them talk. Let them serve as a fuel for your rise. Don't deny people their proper place. And if what they volunteer for as their proper place is to serve as the fuel for your rise, honor that decision they've made. You didn't volunteer them for that. They volunteered themselves. This period of baptism through the flame, it has to do with your life's purpose. You see that? Mm-hmm. Yep. Looks like an angel rising from the fiery crotch. I don't know. I don't know what the image is supposed to be. But card number 41, North Node, life's purpose. The purpose of our lives is to be happy. Happiness is a frame of mind. It's not a state of being. It's not a state of being. When you reframe your mind, you can reframe it with happy wood. The North Node shares the areas of gifts. It represents destiny. You're in the process of fulfilling your destiny. Every experience you have, every interaction, whether it's positive, negative, neutral, it does not matter. You are fulfilling, living your destiny. Let's see. When this card presents itself in a reading, you can be assured destiny has a place in your situation. Through many life lessons, you're about to arrive at a place for your highest good. Your life is expanding and opportunities pour in swiftly, catching you quite by surprise. This card also represents past life memories and karmic connections. Oh, Lord. Ha! Oh, Lord. Okay, past life connections. You may meet people whom you have known over many past lives, perhaps in a soul family where bonds form very quickly. You are taking on a larger view of your life, which not only emphasizes your talents, but aligns your talents with like minded souls. Love it. Ooh, word to the wise, just because you're like minded does not mean you have the same level of integrity. Ooh, darn. Well, that's a pocket full of pins. That's what Michael said. Just because you're like-minded in the processing of stimulation does not mean you have the same level and intensity of integrity. Be careful who you align with. Okay? Be careful who you align with. And word to the wise, another word to the wise. Just because you share a past life with someone does not mean they didn't try and kill you in that life. Okay? Just saying. I've had people who are like, oh my God, but we've had past life together. Yeah, but you totally murdered me. I don't think I can trust you in this life either. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, you know? There's this person who is just like, so they have like the most disgusting energy and they believe they're Jesus Christ. Okay, let me reel it in. They believe they're Jesus Christ and they believe like they own me and they're like, you know, and they're twin flame, and they're Jesus Christ, and I'm Mary Magdalene, and like they own me and stuff. And it's like, no, you were in that life, but it's the wrong J. You weren't Jesus. You were Judas. You were Judas. You were Judas. I mean, you got the first letter right. You weren't Jesus. You were Judas. You fucking betrayer. No, never. Never. Just please use discernment. You know, when someone starts to talk about how you've had all these past lives together and you're supposed to be together, even if it's just as friends, like, we're going to have to like consult with our hypnotist, our BFFs, and Mikey. I'm just saying. Judas. You know, Judas. You fucking betrayer. Okay. Michael's giggling. This is cracking me up too. So, let's see. Keep in mind the lunar nodes always bring shifts and changes. For instance, a relationship with someone who has destiny spelled all over him or her may suddenly walk into your life. If so, this relationship will start rapidly and be life altering. That might be in a negative way. We don't know. Okay. Life altering could mean like, oh my God, swept you off your feet. Amazing. Love of your life. It could also mean turn your whole world upside down. We don't know. So be careful. Okay. Ooh, this energy is now telling you that the schooling part is over for now. Love it. Yeah. Um, Okay, as a soul's messenger, the appearance of the North Node card in a spread indicates growing into what is called the larger unknown, meaning you're moving toward a point that promises greater fulfillment. The nodes are karmic, therefore, the lessons are not easy ones. Matters will develop suddenly, but there is still work to be done. Luck is on your side with an opening toward greater things. Karmic lessons learned and processed bring fulfillment and happiness. Also, for some, a very small few, probably a specific person. Your soul just texted me and said, stop being such an asshole. Totally serious. Totally serious. I would take heed because souls don't like to ask for those types of modifications more than once or twice. Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely. You know, oh my gosh. You're going to love this. Well, what's her name? Cornelia? Oh, I don't want to share it though. Sorry. Sorry, guys. I don't want to share the information after all. Let's get a card. Here goes. La 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 la. La 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 la. Et tu, Brutus? I had a dog when I was little. His name was Brutus. Backstabber ass always ran away. He did though. He would, if he left the gate open, he'd run away. I don't know what we did wrong. Like my dogs now, they never run away. They might run off for a little bit, but they always come back home. They're like, no, don't leave me. All right. Final card. And then I must bid you farewell. Ooh, Badra Kali. Okay. Here goes. Ooh. Eliza, you've been missed, boo. I hope everything is going good for you. How's everything going? I'm up in your business now. I'm all up in your business. I've been starved of your attention, Eliza. So now I'm gonna be like, girl, where you been? What you been up to? Have you been eating? Eat 3 days, three meals a day. What's up? How's the skin? How's your hair? Emotions? Are they healthy? Where are you at now? Like, I'll be all up in your mix. Card number 14, Bhadra Kali. Our wild divine mother knows when to become gentle with our hearts, bestowing sweetness that liberates us from fear. Though you may have faced such or much struggle and challenge on your path, though it may seem only the most powerful intensity could stem the tide of negativity, the dark mother of grace will conquer the obstacles to your freedom with gentleness. She manifests herself now as Bhadra the Gentle. She will calm the waves of emotion, eradicate doubt and despair, and provide safe and graceful passage through all difficulties. Mm, 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 mm. Love, love, loving it. Like, ascension cycles can be very, very challenging and very, very destructive and all of that. But they can also be that in a gentle way, you know? Um, Bhadra Kali, or wish fulfilling Kali, is an auspicious and gentle form of Kali Ma. She is Kalyani who gives peace and happiness. She is a giver of windfalls and blessings. Let me check. Hold on. I have to check something. Okay. Sorry. She appears when a gentle way will best accomplish what is needed. Sometimes we're drawn to Kali because we need her ferocity. Sometimes what we learn as we connect with her is that we deserve tenderness, sweetness, and gentleness, and that we have been far too hard on ourselves for far too long. This is such a perfect card. Like, this is such a perfect card for today. You have been far too hard on yourself for far so long. Far, far, far too long. And it's time. It's time to be able to give yourself that gentleness, that consideration, at the very least. Please give yourself that consideration. You deserve to be considered too. You don't have to necessarily put yourself first if you're not ready to. Because when you've lived your life as a giver, as an overgiver, that's a very difficult, very, very difficult transition. Extremely difficult. I cannot emphasize that enough. And for those of you who have lived as overgivers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, the other day, um, oh, don't cry, stop it. I think it was the day before my birthday, and Michael had told me to make a post about, like, if anyone wants to give me a gift for my birthday, which is so difficult for me to do, accept gifts from people. It's like so hard. That, I definitely welcome the donations for the Soul Sanctuary, right? And I just started crying. And I couldn't get it out. I'm like, oh my God, why is this so hard? Because at the core of me, I'm an overgiver. That's what's been part of the way I was formed from childhood. Yeah, it's a part of the toxic parts of me that make me feel as though unless I'm overgiving, I'm not worthy of being around you. I'm working on that, but that's still a part of me. I don't have to completely throw that part away because that's one of the most beautiful parts of me. The part of me that's willing to give without needing anything in return. I'm willing to give because I want you to feel cherished. I want you to feel considered. I want you to feel relevant to the rest of humanity. So, no, I don't have to put that part of me away. I just have to know when to allow that part of me to come out and be witnessed, to be experienced by the people who need that experience. So it's like having this beautiful dance and having within you an entire dance troupe. Like what, I forgot the name. I forgot the name of that. Well, you know what? Instead of that Chinese dance group, we're gonna go ahead and use Cirque du Soleil. They do amazing shows. They do amazing shows. You have this entire troupe, circus troupe, aerial acrobatics and contortionists and all of that, all within you, and you put on the most glorious show. Those performers, they put their all into that performance. And for that moment, it's not just a performance, it's an entire experience that you're probably never going to forget. And here's the thing, when the performance is done and the lights are turned on and the last guest leaves, the makeup is all dissolved and washed off your face. You go home and you nourish yourself. You rest, you eat, you take in all the things that you need without guilt. You do it with a knowing that you must. You must, if you're going to continue to provide the experience that people pay in energy to experience with you. It's okay to be that. It's okay to be that and be compensated. Compensated monetarily, compensated through the love and support being reflected right back at you. So many different forms of compensation. You know, once upon a time, people used to be like, oh my God, I mean, you give so much all the time. And, you know, you're live every day and you do all of this for free. No, I'm being compensated. No, it's not the AdSense. I'm being compensated in energy. You and your presence replenishes me. How so? It's an even exchange. What I give out, you give back in love. You give back by allowing me to be who I am without having to edit myself, without having to hide, without having to be afraid of, oh my gosh, what are people going to say? I would say that's a huge payment because really I've lived my entire life never even getting a fraction of that. And now here I am. I've been live for 2 hours at this point. At no point have any of you made me feel like I have to edit myself or withhold, or else I'll be attacked, I'll be vilified, I'll be this, I'll be that. That's a huge payment in energy that I'm receiving. I would say this is a very beautiful, mutually beneficial exchange. Understand, what you give out always comes back to you. But if you keep rejecting what is rightfully yours, the appreciation, the mutual beneficial nature of things, like, stop doing that is what I'm trying to say. Let me just be blunt with it. Stop doing that. Allow yourself to receive the love, the support, the consideration, and the grace that clearly you need so much. This is a good time for me to say adios. I gotta go eat. I don't know if I've eaten today. I don't think I have actually. Oh, I did. I had granola this morning. I did. I think I need to eat again though. Ugh, this is going to be a challenging period. Have fun with a challenge. Have fun with yourself. Okay. Thomas says being an overgiver is not toxic. It just shows how much love you have to give. Yes. It can be depleting though. And I think sometimes we have to realize that we need to consider what it is we need. This morning, I went to go water all my plants, all my like 100 something plants. I have tons of plants everywhere. And one of my newly favorite plants is this peace lily. And it's huge. It was the one that was on this side before. I had to remove it from the room. It wasn't getting enough sunlight in here. Those two were like my favorites. And the peace lily, this morning I went to go water it and all the leaves were drooped. And I was like, oh no, did I put it in the wrong place? I had covered the vent because we run the heater all the time. I had covered the vent and I'm like, oh my gosh, did the heat get to it? Did it cook my freaking plant? And I checked the soil and it was dry. And I was like, oh, maybe it's super thirsty. And all the leaves were drooped. It was just like, it was wilting. And I was like, oh no. And so I watered it generously. And I gave it a little bit of plant food as well. And then I went to go run errands. And I came back a few hours later and it perked up. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't consider what you needed. Instead, I enforce this preconceived notion of what I should do. Because I water my plants as I feel they need. Even if the soil is wet, I'm like, oh, you feel thirsty. So I give it some water. And for those two, I was like, okay, these two plants are like, I don't want them to die. I don't want them to be overwatered. So I'm only going to water them once a week, like a half cup. Girl, the baby was parched. She was thirsty. So now I'm going back to my old routine of I walk around the house with a big ass bottle. Like, who wants a drink? Anyone? Anyone want a drink? After I finished watering all my plants earlier, I turned and did this like, the hills are alive with the sound of music. This spin in the living room. And I was like, anyone else thirsty? And they were all very happy. So I didn't need to give anyone else any water. When your soul feels thirsty, allow it to drink. And maybe it's time for you to be reminded. Your soul doesn't just drink fresh water. It's capable of drinking salt water as well. Salination is not an issue. I think for some of us, we've allowed ourselves to become so thirsty that we don't need a cup. We need to swim. We need to be back in our oceans, diving real deep without any fear of drowning. Your birth water will not drown you. You don't even need to come up for air. You can go as deep into your truth as you're comfortable going. And whatever spot you feel like, oh, this is a little too far, just push slightly beyond that, slightly beyond the comfort zone. And every time you do that, you stretch your comfort zone that much more. And before you know it, you'll be in the trenches of your heart, retrieving the most beautiful gifts that you have hidden away. Yeah, you're a gift to yourself as well as to others. It's time for you to retrieve your truth buried deep in the trenches of your heart. Nothing there will harm you. You might see some things, feel some things that make you feel so deeply that it hurts. That's not an injury. That's an expansion of your awareness of the greatness that you actually already have been this entire time. It's your choice how you'll be baptized in this period. By swimming through your own heart's oceans, or by dancing in the flames as you become a phoenix. Either way, it's beautiful. Either way, it brings you back to the reality of who and what you are. Something so amazing and profound that it's going to take your entire lifetime to wrap your mind around it and come to terms with it. I think part of what brings me to a place of peace within myself now is that I will learn bits and pieces of me through my entire life. I don't need to know my entire purpose and my entire path and my exact identity right here, right now. No, I'm going to savor this process. I'm no longer in a rush. I'm in full compliance, lazily walking down the wilderness, deeper into the forest of my truth. No fear of anything hidden in there. I'm my own motherfucking Snow White. All the animals in the forest love me. They are me. They come from me. They live within me. Find that about yourself and see how peaceful life becomes. No rushing, no fighting, no nothing. I can skip, I can run, I can walk, I can jog, I can saunter if I want. This wilderness is mine, not mine to conquer. I already own it. Mine to explore, mine to enjoy, mine to cultivate if I so choose. Life is beautiful. It really, truly is. Start living like it so you can begin feeling it. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I think tomorrow, Sunday, I'm going to be going live to do auric paintings and readings and whatnot. I'm very curious to see how everyone's energies have changed over the course of the past few months. I haven't done auric paintings in a very long time. And I feel like it would be very interesting to allow you to be able to see exactly how I see your energy and to see how you've grown and been affected by all of these shifts within the human consciousness, within the Schumann resonance, all of that, all of that. So I'll be live tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll be live on the Emmy Evolving channel Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tomorrow, Sunday. If you're listening to this from a podcast app, do your thing, like it, share it, whatever it is you guys do on podcast apps. Maybe someone should teach me sometime. Maybe someone should teach me sometime. Guys, come join me often. I'm live every day. I'm usually live 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time daily. And I do my Soul Sanctuary podcast on Tuesdays, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm a little less ratchet there, a lot less ratchet there. No bad words. Every other day I get to be me, though. I'm also, there's a part of me that's not ratchet. I just say that. Okay. Yeah. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Bye, everyone.